like 3 years to get in good enough shape. You know,
If you go on their site, they have their Vipers training outlined and the steps and everything. Here's a flyer about it.
I have to check out some of those training things.
That's great.
Friday night, 7, 8.
Oh shit, I gotta go all the way home and then come back. Or kill a couple hours.
Is it just me or is it really warm in here?
It's warm.
Check out whatever he's gonna show us
Hey,
out
Pete.
there, maybe?
I work like 2 or 3 miles from here.
Oh, easy.
But I get off work at 4:30.
You're wearing a heavy shirt.
Yeah, I got talking.
I understand.
Where are you working?
I'm working this for a round. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just point out here, well, real quick, just like Escape to Keene, Keene, New Hampshire. If y'all aren't familiar, check it out, freekeene.com, and giant postcards with our man Lysander Spooner on here.
I already signed the statement of intent.
And we're talking about psychology. Our buddy Dobby Barker, who does Bitcoin Not Bombs, and among other things, is proposing this what he calls a renegade experiment that follows in the footsteps of the Stanford and Milgram experiments. So
I heard
I encourage you to check
I
this
heard
out.
that interview.
Yeah.
It's
That's
great.
great.
Has
Read.
the potential to do a lot of damage to the state.
Oh, I agree. And then we have the Philosophy of Liberty, which is a pretty solid like primer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, and 6 steps.
Oh, wow.
very annoying. And it scares dogs away, so you don't have to shoot them. This is a pepper gun. All of our team members carry these. This has a light. It's bright and then also strobing. And this is how we clear homes that may have someone in it. So you still can't kill anyone. It's impossible. No mistakes. But when people see that, they're going to think it's something more and they're going to leave anyway if they were still there waiting for you.
It's like the sound of a pump shotgun from around
Correct.
the corner.
Correct. So psychology is key. And then gas masks. They see our gas masks. What's a gas mask do? It doesn't hurt anyone, but I tell you, psychologically, it's scary. We put those on our arms, walk around, they're like, oh my God, look, it's a gas mask. Gloves. Gloves are serious. Gloves, we go, excuse me, that area's off limits, I'm sorry. You still here? They're like, you have no gloves on, they're like, that's nothing. You have no gloves. It's all psychological. As soon as you put gloves on, you go, excuse me, sir, I'm sorry. They're like,
A lot of cops put their gloves on as they're walking up to people.
yeah, not in Detroit. They got,
Yeah, they have lead powder.
no, Detroit's not even have gloves. They lost all their rights to everything. They have flashlight, they have gloves, they can't.
You can't have gloves?
No, because they were doing that. They're walking up like this and hitting people.
Wow.
And so they took the gloves off, they're like, maybe I shouldn't hit anyone. Psychology again. Like, it doesn't change much, you know, but it makes you feel more empowered. But we use it for good. So you can either use psychology for bad or nefarious reasons or positive reasons or positive outcomes. It's up to you. It's a choice. And we choose to show people how to use all the psychological aspects of human behavior for positive good. I have, however, seen it used for negative, like the police officers fall for the Jedi mind trick of the criminals. The criminals literally tell the police officers things, the police officers like listen to them because they said it so passionately. I saw a criminal, he elbowed a cop, gave him the finger, and the cop he yells, it was probably because he was by himself, so he thought we were too far away. My men ran down and cut him off so he couldn't leave, and then the officers came up. And he goes, why'd you hit me? And he goes, I didn't hit you. Hit a police officer? You think I would hit a police officer? Oh my God, man! Oh my God! He starts screaming. I swear to God! We're looking right at you. Just elbowed him. No! You bumped me! I was walking. He was so passionate. You're like, oh yeah, you would never hit anyone. The officer's like, well, stop it. Stop. Well, watch where you're walking. He goes, I will. I'll tell my cousin, who's an officer, Stevenson. You know him, right? I couldn't believe he was falling for this. I was like, he just elbowed you, gave a finger. And he was like, first of all, I love police. And my cousin was up there. That's who I was giving a finger to, not you. And he was so passionate that the officer was like, I swear it was me. One guy told me, this is a horrible story, they had him dead to rights, locked up. He screamed that they were racist, and this is a lie, and he kept screaming. And they let him go before his prince came back. And they had him. He was a murderer. Yes, and I know him. He told me the story personally. Yeah, so that's another thing. Being in our circle, we get a chance to see both sides of the situation. A guy I just ran into 2 years ago in the basement of a building. I had a conversation with him. I said, "Hey, you look familiar." Because I was in this basement about 15 years ago, 20 years ago. He goes, "Yeah, you look familiar too." I was like, He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, you run real fast." He goes, "Yeah, I'm pretty good on my feet." Last time I saw him, he was shooting at me on the east side. The police almost shot me that night too. I'm chasing him down the street with my pit bull. This guy had been harassing, he killed an entire family, and then he was establishing dominance in the area, and we were interfering in that. So he came out and shot at me. Literally, he's coming out of the house, and they had masks on, but it was cold, it was freezing back when we used to have a lot of snow here. So three guys came out with masks on. They were getting into a blue car, and when they came out, they just started walking. One guy started walking, and then the other guy looked at me driving by, and started running towards my truck. And I was like, I must be imagining things. No one's gonna run after me. Just paranoid. All of a sudden, pow, 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 and I feel this thudding under my seat. And I just left the police station reporting some other kind of crime. Turned on Jefferson, went up to the police station, reported it. The officer came out, she goes, "Well, they were shooting at you?" I was like, yeah, who? I don't know who's shooting at me. I didn't, stop. I just, told this guy with the mask on. She was like, "Right, okay." So she goes, looks under the truck. She goes, "I don't see anything." So when I was like, "Well, I'm not going to get out of the truck. I'm just telling you they shot it. You just write the report and we're good." And 6 months later, I'm getting my exhaust redone. And the guys in Southwest Detroit, these guys that work on cars, they had no trouble seeing the bullet holes. They were like, "Orderly, look at these bullet holes. Where do you get these big bullet holes?" I went under there. There are gigantic bullet holes. This guy was shooting a .45. And this guy that I saw in the basement, he and I had this conversation. This is last summer. And the last time I saw him, he was putting bullet holes in my car, chasing me down the street. I was chasing him, and he shot back at me, which made me stop chasing him. And then I went to this house, to this apartment building, waiting for the police. When the police came in the door, my guns are away, dogs away, everything. I'm in uniform. It says U.S. Patrol, which stood for Urban Survival Patrol. I mean, maybe it's not United States, I'm not sure. But it said U.S. anyway. And in big white block letters. And I was like, "Hi, I'm security. I'm just coming out to talk to you about what happened." These 6 officers came in. They were all like this, looking at each other, looking at me, looking at each other. I was like, hi, I just called. I called you. Yes, it was me. They were all looking at each other, still were not responding to me. I was like, oh my God, they're not de-escalating. I can't move. I know I cannot move. I'm literally like this. And all of a sudden a sergeant comes in. He goes, "What's going on here?" And they were kind of looking at each other, looking at the sergeant. He was like, "What's going on? What's going on?" "Yes." I was like, "Yes, Sarge. Yes, security. I was shot at down the street, around the corner." And all the officers, he's like, "Okay, all right, what do you guys, put your guns away. Let's go. Well, all right, what happened?" If that sergeant had not come in right then, they were about to shoot me. They were not de-escalating. They were not calming down. And that's one of the things I realized, that they're not, under stress and duress is something that happens called occlusion. You have auditory occlusion, visual occlusion. So your brain starts to play tricks on you. They could not see or hear me. All they saw was what they thought was the target. Someone was shooting because they heard gunshot, they heard shots fired, and they heard this address. It's the address I gave them to meet me 45 minutes after the shootout. The shootout's over. You're not supposed to meet me for the report. And make a long story short, this is the last time I saw the guy. So now, last year, I'm talking to him in this basement. I was like, "Man, you run way faster than me. Probably way, way faster than me now." He was like, "Yeah, I do my best." And then I was like, "Okay." Okay. He's like, "I'm going to leave now." I was like, "Okay." That was the end of the conversation. And they leave without incident. What was the purpose, what was the point of me being there, was to get him out of the building, not to have a shootout with him. And that's what I achieved. I achieved getting him out, we were able to communicate, and he was able to leave without incident. And I said, I heard you went to prison. He goes, no, man, I had to sit down for a minute. I'm good now. These officers did tell me they got him. Apparently they didn't. He's been out this whole, he should never see the light of day again, ever. This guy killed, I know for a fact he killed a family, then he was shooting some other people, and he tried to kill me. So there's no way he should still be free. And then I have a picture of a guy at this gas station up here, and I was like, I know you. He was like, you don't know me. And I was like, man, I know you. He goes, oh, you don't know me? I said, I'll give you $5 if you admit that I know you. He was like, it's me. I was like, last time we saw each other, you tried to stab me to death. He was like, man, that was a long time ago. I was like, I'll give you $5 if you're going to take a picture with me. He was like, fine. So now every time I see him, he's like, Commander, Commander. But he tried to kill me.
Did anybody lose $1?
Oh, wow.
That's our test dollar.
I figured you found it on the ground.
But yeah, this guy tried to stab me. Last time I saw him, well, we started doing something. We started doing this technique called the throw in the bushes technique. This guy, I get called for a stabbing situation. I go to this vestibule, this apartment building, and there's a man standing on the stairs holding his throat like this, and blood is gushing out. And there's people standing next to him, like kids and people. They're all like pointing at this guy at the bottom of the stairs who's in front of me. And I said, hey, listen, situation is the police are on the way. You can tell them everything. He goes, just get out of my way. I go, I can't get out of your way, but you can wait for the police, and I'm sure you tell them your story, and everything will be fine. They'll probably just let you go. He was like, man, I'm not going to tell you again. Get out of my way. And I said, hey, come on. It's no big deal. And I'm looking at the people, and they're all like, and then he turns around, and they all look like this. All people, I didn't say anything. And the guy's sitting there, blood is literally gushing down. And I said, listen, if I can't see your hands, I'm going to have to put you on the ground. Okay, so just keep your hands out here, right? And he was like, I'm not going to tell you again, man. You need to leave. And I had this, I was actually like technically off duty or something. There's no on duty or off duty time, but I was like in shorts and a t-shirt. And I do have a weapon with me. I do have a gun. And I have a camera. And the camera's the kind that had the like little flat screen with a camera like thing on the side that goes like this. And I was like, this is so awesome. I'm about to have a real life knife disarm on camera. This is awesome. I gave it to the guy with me. He was a veteran police officer, 10 years. He had been on for a while. Long story short, he's not a good guy. But we dealt with that later. But he was standing there, so I gave it to him. I said, well, you film this. So I was like this, and I said, sir, just, so I see your hands, not a problem. And he put his hands back and went like this. As soon as he went back, I went forward, took him down, and I hear the guy screaming. He's screaming, he's got a knife, he's got a knife. And so I took him down, and I was very, very careful not to like hit him in anything or strike him. I wanted to show you could do this knife disarm without hurting someone. I was excited, and I take him down, get him down on the ground, I get his arms like this, and I got the knife, and I go like this. I look up, and the camera's looking right at me. And I was like, that is awesome. I will be able to show this. This is great. A real life knife disarm. Who has that? Who has that? What school has that? This is awesome. Police come in the door. I was like, I didn't get a chance to look at it yet. I was like, yes, officer. What's this? Yes, he had a knife. I'll show you. So all you see on the film is, you better back up. This guy goes like this, and I said, I see your hands. And then all of a sudden, you see me go like this, whoo! And then you see the floor. The guy takes the camera, points at the floor, and goes, he's got a knife, he's got a knife. And that's all he says, he's got a knife. Then I'm on the ground, on top of the guy with his arms like this, and I'm sitting there with a knife like that. I grab the knife off the ground, and I look up at the camera, and the camera looks at me, and I'm like, so it shows me go forward, me grab the guy, then me over the guy with the knife. And I was like, oh, actually, you don't need to see that camera. I'll take that. It doesn't say who has the knife. This guy's just screaming, he's got a knife. I was like, oh, I can't use this film for anything. But still, we got witnesses, right? The place is filled with witnesses. They take him away. I'm like, oh, man, stopped a violent criminal today. The guy's bleeding from the throat, got him first aid. You know, the ambulance take them away. The kids got to see that, bad guys get stopped, right? I was excited about that. That guy was out next week. The guy came back and was like, what? What I told you. I was like, did you stab someone in the throat? Did you try to stab me? And are you walking around out here right now? If he had a bag of weed, he'd be in jail a lot longer than this.
Yeah.
All he did was try to kill people so he's allowed to come back. I was like, you? He goes, yeah, what? What, you gonna do something? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to do something. So, collar of pants, collar of shirt, pants. Guess what are you doing? I was like, I'm taking you over here to the bushes. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, if you're trying to stab people, things bad happen to you. So I threw him in the bushes. He's like, whoa! So he climbs out of the bushes. He's like, oh, you can't do that, you can't do that. So we just do that for the next 2 months. Every time we see him, we chase him down, throw him in the bushes. Sometimes the bushes are far away too. He's like, you guys cannot do this to me. You cannot throw me in the bushes. So my guy's just, okay, 1, 2, 3. He's like, ah, bushes. And he's like, and then finally he just started waiting to stay with the area. I don't know where he went, but our area has lots of bushes. So he knows them well. He decided bush assault is not for him. The way we got rid of drug dealers that would come up and down the block, we would surround them. So the guy would try to evade us a little bit. We go, hey, how you doing? How's it going? How you doing? All right, good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. And so we pat him down. So, imagine 5 guys doing a hug assault. So they called the police. Said I was hugged by 5 men. They hugged me everywhere. It was hugged. It was a hug assault.
Quick question for you. I'm diabetic. I need to eat something fairly quick. Do you guys have like a machine, like a snack machine?
I have a protein bar.
It's not like a desperate low blood sugar need, but I was just curious if you had, I was gonna buy some peanuts or something like that off the
I got some
snack machine.
roasted walnuts.
You're awesome at it. Thank you.
I got a bottle of water. You might need those with the walnut.
Who's